Hello again everyone. I've got this project that I've been working on for quite a while. If you've seen any of my previous videos, just hopefully be full on work of art, custom lowrider sort of bobber style electric bike. I've got all the frame painted black and built it all out of aluminium and bolted it because I can't aluminium weld, unfortunately. But I've got it to a reasonable stage, so I've painted the frame, got the forks in. I'm going for like a Springer look on there, which will stiffen the forks up as well. And I'm going to bulk it out and get some more plate on. I've got the bars on, which are looking nice, with a new thumb throttle. And I've drilled and put all the wiring in through the bars. So they'll look real clean. I'm just going to have 2 brake cables, which just goes with sort of the push bike look. Just at the minute, I've got the compressor, having a compressor on it with some truck horns. It's going to lift up and down on air. A nice comfy seat with some springs. And I'm hoping to get a 1500 watt. I'm going for a fat wheel now, so hopefully a 4-inch tyre. Probably have to cut some more out of this piece when we get round to that. So it's sort of mocked up how I'm going to run the chain. So obviously we've got 2. I'm going to buy 4 of these, so I'll order them tomorrow. So 1 bottom and top, and then there'll be 1 bolted through there, and then 1 bolted up behind on one of these bolts here, which then should in turn go to the back wheel. So whether that'll work, I've never tried it, but there's a lot of things on this bike that may or may not work. Little sprockets that come in the post, so we can get them mounted up. Whilst I was waiting for them, just started mounting the control panel, which has got my controller on. I'm going to make this look a bit like a funky sort of whatever, oil cooler or rad sort of thing. I'm running all the wiring through copper piping. Started just using some gasket sealant to hold these together so it's got a bit of give. I need to extend some of these wires before I thread them in through the end of there, and then we can start wiring the switches and bits and pieces up. And then around this side we've got the control for the air up and down, which will sit on the floor. Obviously pipes are going to run down to my air cylinders. But anyway, a few bits of copper piping and bits that are going off these. I drilled all these out to fit, push fit, because I have these cheap compressors off eBay. Fittings all seem to be a bit weird size, can't get them anywhere, so we get some fittings all on here to run all the piping and wiring in. I bolted the compressor up solid, but I want something on top here. I'm not going to be doing any trials or any sort of mountain biking on this, so I've took the bottom stanchions off, just undo the 2 nuts underneath. They're full of water and rust and whatnot, so I've just given them a bit of a Scotch-Brite and get most of the main stuff off. So I'm just going to get some of the right sort of grease for them, and then the seals look a bit knackered, so I think I'll obviously clean all down inside there and get some new fork seals in it, grease it up. That should be good enough. So following on, we've had the forks apart, which are just 2 either Allen keys. These are 10mm on the bottom, and the bottom pieces come off. I got this little tool from eBay, I think it was, for a few quid. You just undo these top pieces on there, and then you can get the springs and the little dampers out of there. If you take no out, you take it apart, you can put it back together the same way. I just did it to clean all the rusting water and that out of them, and then packed them with quite a bit of grease. So like I say, they're not going off-roading or out, and the springs are going to be part of it as well. So that's that bit sorted. But I noticed in the light, this top piece looks a bit green, and it's got some crappy bolts in, so I'm going to take this back off the bars, spray the top piece, and then where the wires are running down from going through the bars, I need to sort of put a couple of sort of rubber grommets or some thick heat shrink just to stop any chafing. I might need to take this piece back off just to drill an hole in the top or the front to run them cables in. Other than that, I've got some of the pipe work on the back, which I'm running the wiring for the compressor and the air lines. So that's all going on nice. The next thing really, I've sprayed the top of the compressor motor. I've got the casing of it to do black, which I'm also need to take these off and spray this one black and decide what colour we're doing that's going black. And I've done a couple of bits like the compressor motor, that piece, that coppery colour, and then a couple of the airline pieces that were sort of anodised blue, and that'll go on so I can get all the water trap sealed back up. I'm just trying to get away from having just want metal colours really, and black, so we'll crack on with them bits. I've also got some wiring now so I can extend the thicker wires that go to the battery and the motor, run them down through another copper part to the back there, which is where all the connections for that lot will be. Following on, we've got a few more bits and pieces done. Mainly been wiring up today. Bit of a bird's nest, so next thing's get all that tidied up and hidden away. Running through the copper pipes. I've got my new headlight on, which is quite nice, and painted some bits and pieces. Did these top bits, and the stem there that I think I said looked a bit green. But yeah, we've got everything working. I mean, nothing works at the minute, but then you flick the 12-volt system on, and we've got a switch up here for the lights, which obviously brings the headlight on, and I've got two of these, I'm having one either side. We've got a brake light, and also indicators up there, so that's going to be for that side, and the brake light works with it. It's quite smart. So that's all that wired up and done. Once the 12-volt system's on, we can flick the horn isolator one on, which that one clicks the solenoid down there, and the other one's to turn the compressor on, which does work, but it's not bolted down at the minute, so I won't demonstrate that one. But yeah, she's looking good. I've got this, obviously switch is going to mount in. Similarly, I'm building a panel on that side. I've got the air on, that lifts up and down. But yeah, we've got this piece to sort out. Got an horn on, it's having one both sides. flash a relay underneath there. Got a couple of USBs that I'm going to wire in. They're wired up, but find a spot for them. So yeah, we're cracking on. So next vid I'll hopefully have it all buttoned up a bit more.